Hello, my Sunrays. Welcome back. We'll be starting a new fic entitled I'll Hold You Close by Gapple. Pretty sure that's how you say your name. Sorry if I mispronounced it. This will be a Humor in the Space Orcs fic. I absolutely love this fic when I took a read through it, and I hope you all do, too. As always, link for this fic is down in the description, and I hope you all enjoy. Let's get into it. Summary. Aizawa, pro Hero Eraserhead, didn't expect to be kidnapped by aliens, yet it happens, and he met a young alien girl by the name of Eri. Together, they escaped to UA, or Human Dadzawa in Space, inspired by Death Rise to the Extreme by Aqua Dark Star. Chapter 1. Eri knows Overhaul brought in a new creature, a new project, he called them. She doesn't like it when Overhaul brings up new projects. It always ends up with her, strapped to a chair, as blood is drawn. Though it also means he doesn't pay a lot of attention to her, as long as she is in her room for feeding and sleeping time. She can sneak around the ship between those times, as long as she stays out of sight. Eri tries her hardest to walk silently, even as her hooves click on the metal floor with every step, seeming so loud to her ears, even over the beating of her heart. But nobody said that she wasn't allowed to see the new project, and she never gets to see new people. And it's not like she's going to cause trouble. She just wants to see. She ignores the part of her that hopes this person is going to be the one to show her other planets, like what happened in the stories her grandpa used to tell her before Overhaul got her. Eri doesn't remember much from before Overhaul, barely even remembers her own planet. But she still remembers that her grandpa would tell her those stories. She bites down a whimper when she thinks about the fact she doesn't even remember the color of his fur. She can't be caught, not when she hasn't seen the new person yet. Eri creeps around the edge, looking towards the cell the new person is in. There are no guards in front of it, but Eri knows Overhaul will probably be watching through the cameras. He's always watching. But that's okay, because if she's really good, she won't get in trouble for this. Maybe he will even be pleased. It's always hard to know when he'll be pleased with what she does. Eri sneaks closer to the cell, looking through the bars. The person inside is sitting on the ground, back against the wall. Their hind legs were spread across the floor, kind of like her own, but without hooves. The knees were bent the other way. Their front legs were bound to the floor with chains, way heavier than any Eri has seen before. There was a strip of cloth over what she thinks was their face, with long head fur hiding most of the face. Her hooves click, and the head of the guest snaps, facing her direction. Eri shivers, pushes it down. It's not as scary as Overhaul when he's mad, so she can get through this. To Eri's surprise, the door is unlocked, and she can enter the cell without any problem. The person seems to track her by the noise of her hooves on the ground, seemingly staring at her despite no eyes being visible. Shota expected to be kidnapped at some point. He was an underground hero, after all. Successful enough for people to want to get rid of him, and not so popular that it would cause an uproar. What he didn't expect was being kidnapped by aliens. He didn't remember what they did, exactly, but he knows he went through multiple ships before he was handed over to the bird-like creature he was with now. It's always the same aliens that bring him food, the others that pull blood and perform other tests, though they barely come by, not with how much he fights. But all of them have the same sound of claws clicking on the ground when they approach. So it's new, when instead of claws, you can hear the sound of clicking hooves. Shota keeps his head down, pretending to be asleep. Even as the footsteps get closer, the aliens sound small, footsteps light. Then they stop, and Shota hears the sound of the door of a cell opening. It's rare that his blindfold is taken off, ever since the aliens figured out that he could use his quirk to disorient them, but he knows what his cell looks like. The small room with bars instead of a front wall, the door directly in front of him. He snaps his head up, looking to where he knows the door is. The footsteps hesitate, before slowly approaching, stopping just out of range of his legs. Shota waits for them to say what they want. He has a very basic understanding of the common language in space, picked up over his time away from Earth. It reminds him of the missions in which he had to pick up code languages from criminal organizations, in which he had to change the way he talks in order to infiltrate villain groups. But the alien doesn't speak, they only watch. Shota can basically feel the anxiety rolling off them in waves, and he frowns. Nobody has just watched him before, not on this ship. Sure, there are cameras, which meant the big boss was probably watching, but never in person. He tilts his head to the side when he hears hooves scuffing on the floor. Then he speaks, though his voice is scratchy from dehydration, and the sounds more grumbling than they're supposed to. Hello? The alien startles, taking a step back, before they huff to themselves and approach again. Their voices high when they answer, shaky with what must be nerves. They sound young, though Shota has no frame of reference for how aliens sound, especially since this seems to be a different alien than the other ones he's met. Hello? Shota smiles softly, careful not to show teeth. The other aliens have always taken it as a threat display, and he doesn't want to scare this one off. Not when they're the odd one out on this ship, smaller than the others, probably a different species. They make a nervous sound, at least to Shota's ears. He tilts his head to the other side. What name? He wants to huff in annoyance at his lack of language skills, but settles for grinding his teeth. No need to scare them off just yet. The alien hesitates before answering. My name is Eri. What name? Shota smiles again, sorting the words he doesn't know in his head. Then he copies what the alien said at first. Hello, Eri. My name is Shota. Shota? Shota. Shota. Yes, good job. Shota smiles, forgetting to hide his teeth. He hears Eri gasp and take a step back. Shota's smile drops immediately. Right. Eri must think he is angry at them. Even back on Earth, people tended to find his smile disturbing. Then he hears Eri step closer again. Do you smile? Does that mean you're happy? Shota nods. Yes. Happy. Apologies. I did not mean to scare you. Eri's hooves click on the floor. I smile, too. Well, I used to. It's okay. I'm not scared. Shota smiles again, though he feels a pang at the thought of Eri no longer smiling. He shakes off the thought Eri probably doesn't have a lot of kids of their species. He needs to stop treating them like one of the kids he sometimes meets on patrol. And that was the end of chapter 1. I hope you all enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.